Hey Game Tatoes, this is Dustin the Grinch, and sorry if my audio is going to be a little rough. I was installing some new stuff for my speakers and a TV, and I bent over, and my butt hit the window and shattered all the glass out of it. And now I just have like a tarp with some painter's tape going over the window. It's pretty ghetto. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I really want to talk about how this is a new golden age of gaming. I really don't think we've had one since the Sega Genesis, the 4th gen, and the Super Nintendo, where then like every game that came out was pretty much a classic with no patches. The games were just ready day one, and they were great, from Donkey Kong Country to Mario 4 to shoot, I mean Metroid. You could just go on and on. Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger on the Genesis, and you got Streets of Rage. Oh, the beat 'em ups were great. Super Double Dragon, Turtles in Time. It was a golden era of games where they were just so great. Mario Kart. These games are still so playable today and still so fun. And we're getting into the discussion now, how I think we're entering a new golden age of gaming, because the PlayStation is just giving us such good games. The Nintendo Switch is giving us such good games. The Xbox is kind of floundering in the exclusive department. But State of Decay 2, people want to hate on the buggy mess, and it's not really something, but it is $30. But that game is so fun. It's so fun. And a lot of these games are fun. Assassin's Creed, if you get to the multi-plats, it's amazing. You guys hear that? I have like the dumbest neighbors. They just talk and be loud and let their dogs bark and their kids run and go ah in the streets. It's like, oh my god, I'm trying to do a show here with a broken window and people don't want to let me do it. Even my girlfriend wants to watch a freaking movie. I'm like, no, can't watch a movie. I'm trying to do Game Tato here and talk about the golden age of gaming. But now it's like, you go from that and you go to the 5th gen with the N64 and the PlayStation, where 3D was being messed with and prototyped, but never really perfected from a camera standpoint to a control standpoint. 3D was not being developed right, and developers never really knew where it was going. It was always experimentation. And I feel like now that there's 3 generations later, and now we're in the 8th gen, with the Switch, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One, and the Pro and the Xbox One X, we're in a golden age where I think developers have truly figured out how to use 3D properly. From the implementation of VR to really taking, 3D to the next level and giving it that stereoscopic, 3D tube where you're inside of the game, to just the new Call of Duties or Overwatches. Not only is the 3D right, but the balance is getting right. These games are getting so tight and refined. We're seeing Battlefield 5, we're seeing Fallout 76. We're starting to see a new generation of games that are starting to be just as good as single-player games, but bring the multiplayer component into it, and this is where these games come to life. We're seeing a new golden age with these Battle Royale games, and they are really fun. From the free-to-play Fortnite to PUBG to H1Z1, even though, I'm going to experiment with that game and see how good it is. We're being given these games that are so great, not only from a multiplayer perspective like Rocket League, but we're getting just this single-player golds from PlayStation right now. Bloodborne, incredible. Uncharted, amazing. Doom, oh my goodness, and that's a multi-plat, but oh well. And then we got God of War, Detroit Become Human, are you kidding me? Horizon Zero Dawn, Zelda, the last Zelda was incredible on the Nintendo Switch. And let's just break off to Zelda for a second, because this really proves my point, why we're living in a golden age of gaming. Because Zelda could have just rested on its laurels and given you that temple design that's so formulaic and really, a staple of the series, but they didn't. They went with this 120 shrine setup And these guardians, that's the 4 temples. And you have to decide how strong you want to get before you beat Ganon, or how not. And I think this is truly indicative of this generation, is the freedom to truly play in sandboxes. Grand Theft Auto 5, another game with online that's always been growing. You thought it was just going to be single player with a 3-player amazing switching between Franklin, Trevor, and Michael, but no, the online has given you heist mode. It's given you the ability to buy property and actually start really moving forward in your criminal, just enterprising game. Are you kidding me? Overwatch with its consistent balancing and adding free levels. This is the kind of stuff that's making this generation special. Not to mention the leap to 4K, these upgraded consoles. This has never really happened. We've always been getting iterations of consoles that are always smaller, or look better, or have features removed. Like the PlayStation 3 had the PS2 backwards compatibility removed. We've never gotten features added to a console later without an add-on piece. The PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One are new consoles that don't give you the performance that I would like. I wish they would have given you 2 Jaguars and 2 graphics cards in the PlayStation. I think that would have been better. But we're still getting such a graphical improvement, and even with God of War, the performance mode is such a more playable experience that it just redefines smooth, and it really brings it back to the PlayStation 2, you know, smooth God of War days. And it's truly just, I'm going to E3 in the next couple weeks, and I'm so excited to see what's going to come. I've seen amazing stuff. I wish I could talk about it all. I really could. Like, oh man, I know there's going to be a new Resistance. It's going to be probably announced at E3 this year, that's for damn sure. And there's going to be a lot more announcements. What other announcements are going to be there? I think the Final Fantasy VII is truly going to have a great playable gameplay, a good chunk. Because I want to see the new graphics in Final Fantasy VII. I want to see what's really going on. Shoot, what are the games that have been lost from last year's E3? The goddamn Ubisoft damn monkey game, I cannot remember it. Now we're gonna get a lot of great announcements from Ubisoft just to show that this is a golden age of gaming, where like The Division started off as a total kind of turd. The Division, after a while, with all the updates, turned into an amazing game. And this is the biggest, I think, reason why this is a golden age of gaming. You can have games like Fortnite that aren't even the biggest success right away, get a couple updates, a Battle Royale mode, and suddenly 40 million players are playing your game with the right update. Updates have changed everything about this generation. It's amazing what can be done with Overwatch and balancing characters and making a game that I wasn't even going to buy, a game that I would buy. It's amazing. And then we got like Splinter Cell DLC and freaking Wildlands. Like, come on. The DLC is what made Grand Theft Auto amazing. Any little bugs in games now, they're gone. They get worked out. People used to phase through walls and break games all the time. The updates are constantly fixing games. They're making them incredible. And we're getting games, and this is, I think, my final point for the day before I gotta go Betty bye. Games don't need to come out at Christmas anymore. All the AAA games back in the freaking 4th gen always came out around Christmas time. And there's this abundance of games and then a 12-month lull where you didn't get nothing that was good to play. Now it's almost like we have this indie scene that's smaller, but they're giving us games monthly that are really fun and bite-sized. But then we're getting games from all the third-party publishers at random times. You never know what you're going to get in a random week. You're just like, oh man, my wallet's going to hurt now because I got to buy these games, man. Why are you releasing so many? And Sony's killing it. The reason why they're dominating this generation is they just... Don Matrix messed up with the Xbox One, the marketing. It was supposed to be this one console to do everything, to plug in your cable box. and cable boxes were already going extinct, so you were trying to adapt your console to a dying ecosystem. And then they added this Kinect that was like mandatory with no option, and it really pissed off a lot of consumers getting this weaker console for $500, where Sony came in, hey, we got the $399 great console, we got the exclusives, we got NAC, you know, we got goddamn Killzone. We got all these games that you're gonna play. We got all these exclusives that you know you're gonna want to play in the future. Right price point. The network is great. We're gonna give you games free with PlayStation Plus, and we're just gonna keep giving the fans what they want at the E3 shows. We're gonna impress them, and we're gonna give them Final Fantasy VII. We're gonna make these fans cry. We're gonna try everything in our ability to make these fans happy. And if Xbox really stumbled the first 3 years until Phil Spencer really took control and just really gave us the backwards compatibility. He was like, if we're not going to have exclusives and it's going to be rough on that end, we're going to make third-party support very strong with the One X, have the best-looking system on the market, the console, because it can't even compete with PCs at all. Like, an Xbox One X sucks balls, even compared to like a 3-year-old i7. But that's besides the point. The backwards compatibility and the new features in the UI and just making it really easy to record on the Xbox One X, even though the feature is absolutely broken if you're like a YouTuber. Because once you go into the editing, you're going to realize you're constantly losing frames of audio. I brought this up yesterday. But it's okay because I got backwards compatibility. Keep adding that. Keep doing your best Xbox and work on your exclusives. And another thing, Xbox really failed this generation because they were trying to give us 4-player co-op games constantly. You know, like State of Decay 2, it's a 4-player game. Scalebound, which got canceled, 4-player co-op dragon killing game. Sea of Thieves, 4-player co-op game. Crackdown, 4-player co-op game. It might even be 16, I forget. I'm not sure about that one. But they were trying to give us the co-op living room experience, and I really commend what Xbox is trying to do, but they chose the wrong developers. Where Sony has all these independent studios that just rock, from Santa Monica Studios to Media Molecule. They got it going on with these companies that know what they're doing. They don't fail. They make games that are very innovative. And I love everything from Sony. They've just been knocking it out of the park this generation, from price point to peripherals with PlayStation VR. They've really been innovating the game. And then you get a failed Wii U converted into the Nintendo Switch, and it's a blockbuster phenomenon portable system. You got Mario, you got all these games that are just so good and so fun with Bomberman. You hear my ghetto neighbors, man, these people just drink and go ignorant, man. It's so retarded. Then they roll up with their freaking mufflers all loud. What the hell? Ruining my damn video. But, this is such a great generation from Sony, the exclusives, the games. It's just been so good, and Nintendo Switch has really cemented the legacy of this 8th generation with portability and really bringing all these games with you anywhere. It's such a great point in this generation where you can play Switch, Xbox. If Sony would play ball and you could play all systems versus each other, you would have a true ultimate utopian golden age of gaming. But it's still the best it's ever been. And you got the analog NT, you got USB, retro USBs, AVS, you got the Super NT, you got all these old consoles and a bunch more now that are coming out with these FPGA components, bringing back all your old consoles, but they've never looked so good. And that's truly why it's a golden age of gaming, because you can play all your old games, all your new ones, and they're so innovative. And it's such a great time to be a gamer. I can't wait to go to E3. Thank you guys all for watching. Peace. Like and subscribe.